What's up, y'all? This is gonna be like a short video. I'm gonna just be talking about basically like I guess I'll just talk about the government and kind of like the three branches of the government, and kind of like what those branches do, what they say they do, what actually happens, and then how that kind of affects other things. So it'll be a really quick video, just kind of like a quick overview. Yeah, so I mean, you have the government, which is just basically like so many different branches. I mean, there's like tax, like cybersecurity, like the Department of Justice, which is like um, a branch of law, and then yeah, like so many other names that I honestly don't even know. But the government's pretty big, right? So, and then when they basically when they go or build at a place, they have jurisdiction where they're building. And then you have the common law, or you have law, judicial law, that states that certain people might have birthrights, or that there's or that in property law there's laws where certain animals or just anything that's out of the ordinary uh, can be brought to a jury and compensated for if it can be proven. So like if a fox comes in your place and messes it up or whatever, I mean, you can prove you can honestly get compensated for that, possibly through the insurance. I'm just spitballing ideas. There's certain words for it. They're Latin words. I don't know how to pronounce them, but if y'all really want to know, just let me know. I can like write them down in the like comment section and stuff. So basically, what you have is people go to trial, and there's a jury, and the jury is selected, and it's selected by it's selected. Common people are selected, but honestly, you can also go. You can also select your own jury. I'm pretty sure you can select your own jury. I'm not sure about the specifics on that. Like you can say that certain people might be biased or something like that. But the point is not about the specifics in this matter. The point is that you have a problem and you have to go to a certain space. You have to go to an expert or an actual expert. I'm going to give people credit. You go to a judge and they have a law clerk and they write up an opinion, and you do a research, you get a lawyer, and they look through the history books, and the history books looks at past precedent of certain cases to basically prove to the judge that, hey, this has happened in other cases, and I should be compensated in some way. I should win this. Actually, there's a lot of reporters outside of courtrooms, because that's where a lot of things happen. But the media reports on different things, like if you're winning or losing. They're not really reporting on the process of it and the understanding of it. That's regardless of that. You look at these judges' opinions, and they also follow a pattern, and this pattern is based on the past of the country. The past of the country. How was America created? Well, basically, we came over on boats, and we took Native Americans' land, and then after that, or we might have came with black people, we might have came with people of other skin color, but the overlying I'm blanking right now. The overlying credentials of the legal system of the government states that through the textbooks of colleges, through the textbooks of schools, K through 12, whatever you want to call it, that there was a different story there, and that story was, oh hey, like Christopher Columbus, he came here and he discovered this great land. and we negotiated with the Indians. Actually, there was a lot of massacres that happened, and it wasn't just the Native Americans. There's a long history of violence, and that long history of violence has been for Chinese Americans. They've been Chinese people, Chinese Americans when they came here. They've been Chinese Exclusion Act. Chinese people also helped build the railroad, also black people as well. And this is at the bedrock of the American government. And you have these very wealthy people that came from Europe. A lot of them were aristocrats, and now you see them as our presidents. Whether that be Donald Trump, I'm not saying he's an aristocrat, but he's a businessman. And he's a businessman that took advantage of a platform at a certain point, at a certain period of time. Just like in our past, you have someone like Benjamin Franklin, he was a postmaster. You have Obama, he's mixed race, but he was talking about hope. And I'm not saying they're bad people at all. I'm just saying this is what they used to gather their votes, right? And then what happened after their votes, and and then now you have Biden, and you have these different political parties. But where did the political parties come from? During the French Revolution, these political parties were created, and the United States grabbed hold of them and used it for their own system, right? But at the same time, you think that these judicial rulings will be separate from the political parties' vested interests. But in a lot of cases, a lot of these political parties' vested interests are not separate from the political ruling from which the government rests itself. So, for example, you have these judicial branches that are making deals with people at police stations, who are making deals with politicians, who are making deals for their own money, who are making deals for themselves, who aren't making deals for the community, which in this case, the community means, everyone in a vicinity, however they define it, the complexity that they live in, the experiences that they share, and the differences that they share, and the connections besides background, race, or any other factor that was given at birth, is crossed with, right? But you see in common law, there's common man law, right? So the common man is given ruling over his lived experience over someone's experience who isn't common, even though that experience could be their experience. It's not right or wrong, right? But when you're in a courtroom, the verdict is usually, guilty or not guilty, like you did this or you didn't do this. Okay, you see what I'm talking about? Yeah, and that's all I really have to say about that. This video was kind of like a very general overview. A lot of these things, it's very abstract, so it's hard to grasp. Even for myself, it's hard to even talk about it. And I don't mean that in a weird way. So yeah, if you want to know more about that and stuff, I have examples in my head. I'm just not saying them because I want to base it off of what people say. So yeah, just let me know whatever you think. All right, see you, bye.